Hello, it's Simon from Confidence Wills here, and I'm about to publish this week's blog, which is entitled, How Much Does a Discretionary Trust Will Cost? Well, the short answer to this question is that at the moment, somewhere in the region of £400 to £700, depending on the provider. But the better question might be, is a discretionary trust right for you? And I give a health warning at the beginning of this because tax law does change, and it has changed over the last few decades. And actually, even if you have a discretionary trust in your last will, those changes may mean that it's no longer optimal for you, as it were. Now, the key thing to remember about a discretionary trust really is that it really is treated as a separate entity to its beneficiaries. So the beneficiary of a discretionary trust has no absolute right to anything in that trust. All their rights are at the absolute discretion of the trustees. Moreover, the trustees don't even have to explain to the beneficiaries how decisions are made. So if that doesn't suit what you want to achieve, you should think very carefully about looking at other options, perhaps things like property protective trusts, where the survivor has an absolute right to, for instance, live in a house, etc., etc. Now, where a discretionary trust kind of can be of use is, first of all, in tax planning, because you can leave money to a trust and that trust can kind of stay in place for more than a century, 125 years now. So it can let you plan across generations from that point of view. So it can be useful for that. But even then, I would still look carefully at things like the Property Protective Trust, because the exemptions have changed over the years for inheritance tax, and that has interacted with the usefulness of the discretionary trust. Where the discretionary trust really comes into its own is where you need somebody to make kind of on-the-hoof decisions in the interests of your beneficiaries after you're gone. So these might include situations in which, for instance, money is to be released gradually to somebody who perhaps has an alcohol or drug problem, so they can give more to them, in some phases and less in others, or perhaps give them vouchers, etc., etc. It can be also useful if somebody's, threatened with bankruptcy or divorce, because certain assets can be protected by that trust. It's also useful where means testing might take place. Now, they can be used where certainly where somebody doesn't want to affect benefits. It can be useful for that because that's means tested. But it can also be used to protect against care home fees. However, there's a big caveat around that one, and that is that because of the spousal exemption that came in a few years ago, you might find, again, one of those life interest trusts, like the Property Protective Trust, does the job just as tax efficiently or more so, whilst giving somebody an absolute right to the property. So there's not the insecurity that a discretionary trust has. So I hope that's answered that question for you. I strongly recommend you get advice on this, particularly since the use of these trusts interacts with the law in quite a nuanced way, tax law. But feel free to get in touch. You can, if you want to find out more, you can watch these videos, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You can read the blogs. Or you can just get in touch. Visit www.confidencewills.co.uk. That's www.confidencewills.co.uk. Click on the book a consultation button, and myself or somebody else will give you a call, and we can answer any questions that you may have. Take care and have a great week.